Rad World, welcome back to Spoiling Thrones. I'm your host, Tony Walters, and I'm joined today with Dan Murphy and Daniel Sparks. All right, last night's episode of Game of Thrones was called Stormborn, and it was directed by Mark Milad? Mark Milad?
How many has he done? How many has he directed? Is this
He's directed like 6 episodes.
Okay.
From what I was looking through, it seemed like this is the first episode where he had a lot of action in it, and I think he did really good.
That was a good episode, definitely.
Yeah, definitely a great episode. Lots of puzzle pieces coming together in this week's episode. Lots of really important conversation, and we got some, great finale action there to the end of the episode too. Pretty much, I think everything you could ask for.
Yeah, even some skin.
Episode. Yeah, and some skin. Yeah, you
even got that.
You got everything that Game of Thrones offers as a whole, all jam-packed into one episode. You got a good gross-out moment too.
It was good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Watching it slowly, the pieces come together.
Yeah, I literally you were there. I literally got goosebumps twice during the episode, just when the pieces were coming together. Just because I'm a geek. I'm not a
not a real man like me.
All right, well,
you're supposed to turn your head when the sad stuff happens. Or the happy stuff. But.
All right, so the episode starts with Daenerys meeting Melisandre. Is that how the episode started?
Gosh.
And I don't have it written that way, but yeah. And basically, Melisandre tells her that she needs to get in contact with Jon Snow. Is pretty much pretty much what comes out of that conversation. So they send a raven to Snow, but Daenerys also has a really big meeting with Varys and Tyrell and Ilaria Sand the Greyjoy.
What was your impression of the meeting with Varys?
That was great.
Yeah.
Basically she's questioning his loyalty, and he tells her, or she tells him not to conspire behind her back if anything's an issue, to just tell her.
She was just a little bit of a test for him, wasn't it? To see how he would answer it, and to make sure that he was honest, and then to just let him know, just be honest and we're cool.
Right.
Kind of a thing.
Yeah. I think that she's also just...
Obviously, the guy is kind of a leech, and he knows he is, and that's his lifestyle, and he's not about to mess it up. He's like, he's a manipulator. Right, but the person he manipulates is his person until they die. Then he go find someone else. But yeah, he's loyal. He's
loyal to the people, and that's what he explained. He's loyal to the people.
To the good ones.
What did you think of their conversation?
I don't know, you pretty much summed it up for me. The whole thing with the Targaryen girl really kind of drives me nuts because she's basically everyone's rally cry now. That everyone's all about the mother of dragons. And it's odd that a Judas goat, Varys, is pretty much the voice of reason. She is so blinded by ambition to the point where all she has is blinders on. Right. And it's like, well, you tried to have me killed, this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, here are the reasons why. And she's still questioning him. And he brought her back down to earth.
Yeah.
He smacked her down to earth, saying, hey, I'm doing this for the people. I'm the person that you want to become.
Right.
Instead of seeing everything in black and white.
Yeah, that's my biggest issue with Daenerys, is that she does see everything in black and white. Like, she hasn't... She's learning and she's getting there, but that's my biggest issue I've always had with her, is that she's...
But she still thinks she's the most powerful one.
Right.
And you've got to be open to being maybe not the most powerful one, so you can stay the most powerful one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or you'll be defeated.
Yeah,
she needs to know there are weaknesses, and she needs to know...
She's about to go, into full-fledged war here, and I mean, by the end of this episode, you see, she's going to have an eye-opener here at the next episode, that things are not going to go as she plans it to happen. I mean, it's...
Right. Well, they already haven't.
Right.
But we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's a good point, because everything that she has gained has really been by force.
Yeah.
Right. Totally.
You know, and since it has worked for so long, and then when she is told that, hey, you need the North, you know, well, he will bend at the knee.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, honey. No, he ain't.
Rewind a bit to when your husband was alive and how you met him. It's like she shouldn't be that cocky. She knows bad things happen. She knows there's people out there like that, you know. But maybe she just thinks because she's got all those people behind her that she's unstoppable.
Would one say that she bent at the knees?
She did a few times.
All right. She also met with, different families, like the Tyrells and the Dorns and the Greyjoys.
Right.
Yeah.
And Tyrion and Daenerys, pretty much laid out their cards and showed them what their plan is as far as this war is concerned. And when the Tyrell lady questions them and says, so you're just going to use our armies to fight your war, what did you bring all these other people for? And then Tyrion says they're going to take Castle Rock. I was just like, that's perfect. That is like a sound plan.
But then,
that's the smartest decision you could make.
We were just bashing on her about being cocky, but maybe they do have their stuff together a little bit. That's a good plan.
She's built a good team around her.
Right.
If it was up to just her, I think.
So
that
is
her
Tyrion pulling all the strings?
I don't think he's pulling all the strings. I just think that he's the hand of the queen and he's doing his job.
But like you said, she's trusting quick. I know Tyrion and her have been through some stuff, but she does he's the advisor.
Right.
But she never seems to question him.
He's also seen a lot of war.
Right, he's been around it.
Literally saved King's Landing.
So they're a good team.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, too, is she is the face. She is the face of her future empire. And he is the body. He actually is the brains behind it.
Right.
I mean, especially instead of using your Dothraki and what was the other ones with the Dothraki?
The Sand People.
No, the Unsullied.
Oh yeah, and the Unsullied. Instead of using foreigners to take on the capital of Westeros.
Right.
Instead use the
proving
army.
Cersei right.
Yeah.
Giving her more power.
Yeah, using the soldiers of the Garden to take it because it's a Westerosi army. And it doesn't really matter, well, how am I trying to say this? It matters how you take it.
Right.
Yeah.
It does.
And that's the
it's
thing
a political game.
It is. It also gives her more
Even
power if she's correct with her propaganda with her crowds of people. She's telling them they're going to bring the foreigners in, and but if they do that, she's right, and they see them. They're definitely then the enemy. They don't want to do that. They want to come in and they're basically trying to win over the people.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Instead of starving,
which won't be hard. Out. I mean, won't be hard, will it?
Yeah. Instead of because my first thought was just basically surround King's Landing and just starve them out.
Yeah.
Which is basically what they're doing.
That's what they are doing.
Cutting off their supply, yeah.
Well, they're cutting off the Queen's supply. They're cutting off Cersei at that point.
Right, they're cutting off everybody. I mean, they're cutting off the whole city. So that meeting is immediately followed by Daenerys talking with Alina Tyrell.
Hold on. With taking on King's Landing, and then using the Dothraki and the Unsullied to take Castle Rock. Mm-hmm. With Castle Rock, they're with King's Landing is the brains. It is the central hub of Westeros.
It's the money too. It's the bank. It's where all the money comes from.
But if you take Castle Rock, you take on the heart.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Castle Rock is where the money's at.
Yeah. You basically take out the heart first, and then when they have no money, and when they can't pay their troops, You were literally starving.
We were saying this last night that like who's at Castle Rock to really protect it? I mean, they have an army, but do they have really anybody that's really in charge over there?
Like not one of the big name groups.
Right.
There's nobody residing there that really is of any importance.
Yeah, there's no Lannister there to run it anymore.
Right.
Yeah, so you would have the soldiers like you saw in the previous episode with Ed Sheeran. Oh my God, he's in the episode. Ugh.
They cut him out of the flash for they did like the previously on.
Previously on.
Yeah.
They showed that scene, but they didn't show him in it.
But then again, I think that also brings into a perspective of, they take on Castle Rock. Those are the soldiers they're going to fight,
right?
Because they have no queen piece, so to speak, or a king piece in the game of chess.
That's where Ed Sheeran's going to come back in if he's going to be anywhere.
They're all pawns, so you have a massive army show up.
He's a security guard at the bank.
Yeah, without any real formalized central hub of leadership.
Yeah.
They're just going to be like, okay.
Take it.
All right. You're actually going to feed us?
You got a dragon?
Okay.
Say, come on in now. Come on in.
You're going to feed us and, actually take care of us, and you actually look like you can win.
They've lost their own people already. I mean, Cersei doesn't not have.
It's not going to be a war there. They're not going to be a war of any kind there much, if anything.
All right.
It's going to walk right in.
I'm going to move on a little bit here to just the next conversation with Alina Tyrell with Daenerys, where she's basically calling out Tyrion, telling her not to trust him, that he's a clever man, and I've known lots of clever men. I've outlived them all because I've ignored them. So.
Tyrion is different, though. He really is. And
he is.
And she may not know that because I don't think she's ever had much contact with Tyrion, has she?
She did a little bit because
when he was a prisoner.
Before he was a prisoner.
I can't remember.
She did a little bit before he was a prisoner because when he married Sansa.
Oh, that's right. He was there for a while with her. Yeah. She was in and out of the place.
But they didn't really have a whole lot of one-on-one.
It's the family, though, that she's not...
In her eyes, he was a drunk... Yeah. At that point, he was a
drunken whore.
hated his life and was just drinking away his sorrows.
Right.
So that's all she's known him as. And it's just a name, though. It's just a family name. Nobody trusts Lannisters.
People change.
Any input on that?
Well, and again, she is just like the Mother of Dragons in the sense that she is so blinded by her own ambition. She wants to be on the winning side regardless. I mean, that's why she made good bedfellows with Cersei.
Right.
Because she wanted her granddaughter in, and everything else, and look where that got her.
Yeah. Yeah, and
but she also said the reason
too.
She's alive is because she never listened to any of them.
Right.
Which I think she was more referring to the men.
Yeah.
But whoever was in charge, she didn't listen, and that's why she's still alive.
Yeah, but then again, what does she have?
Nothing.
Yeah, exactly. She's lost everything.
She's just one of them gossiping old women that sits around the tea table, passing a plate of biscuits around.
Yeah. Something else that happens shortly after that, when they're preparing for war, Missandei and Grey Worm get it on.
Yeah. Well...
I don't know.
75-25.
I think,
The only thing I said when that come on really was, please don't show it.
Like his face.
Yeah, I don't want to see what that looks like. Really.
It would look like nothing.
And that's what I don't want to see.
It would look like the voice of God in Dogma, or Ben Affleck in Matt Damon in Dogma.
Looked like you stepped on an orange.
Like a Ken doll.
Like a kid, he's not that well cleaned up, I bet. They didn't do that. They just
it's like a turtle shell down there. It's fine.
Oh, I bet it looks like a giant belly button. Yikes. There's a visual. See, that's why they don't show stuff like that on TV.
And again, I think they captured real well.
It was nicely done.
Yeah. They captured real well.
They love each other.
The chemistry between the two.
Right.
Right. It's been building forever, and it finally.
And then the line that he used was, "Now I'm scared of stuff."
Right. Yeah. The conversation
he's afraid
that
to lose her and to die and to not see her because he's in love with her. It was really, really good line. Good pickup
she is his
line.
Weakness.
It worked, and he doesn't even have any junk, so that was a good line.
Right. I think it worked. I mean, just the whole scene really did work really well.
It was good.
But moving on from that, let's jump over to Cersei and Jamie talking with.
I don't want to move on from that scene.
Yeah, that was a good scene, Tony. Why are we rushing through this one?
Yeah, like the shirt.
I don't have a visual for that one.
Oh, I do.
Well, yeah,
I do.
It's still in here.
Like that shirt came off. I'm like, well. And then damn panties came off, and I was like, oh wow.
And you said the same thing I did. Please don't show it. Oh, we're talking about her. Oh, shoot, sorry.
I think we need to have a conversation with Dan later.
We're on a different page there. What's next, Tony?
What's next is Cersei and Jamie meeting with all the different rulers and trying to figure out if they still have any allies left.
Bit of the old Jamie coming back out there.
Bit of the old Jamie coming back out there. I'm questioning where Jamie's going to end up on the end of this war. But basically, he takes Randall Tarley to the side to ask him to join them more personally. And Randall Tarley is Samwell's father.
Right.
But,
so that's going nowhere.
I don't think
Eventually.
I don't know that he's gonna really join them. I think everybody's got their doubts. I question whether or not where Jamie's gonna stand by the end of this whole thing. I'd like to see him, leave Cersei's side, but I don't know that he will.
I
don't
know.
I can see it going either way.
Right now, they're playing it like that. It can definitely go either way, but I feel like that there's more good in him. And
you think he's gonna go? They think they'll
listen
in the
here's
war.
a
He'll
theory.
go head to head with what's her name?
Here's a theory for you.
The girl that you always remember the name of, and I always forget. The woman knight.
Oh, Brown of Tarth.
Yeah. Do you think that they'll go on, like in the middle of this battle? They'll end up going 1-on-1.
In the sack.
If he was
for sure.
If he was to fall in the show by a blade, it would be by her.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't fight her.
But listen, when
Yeah.
remember Hodor, right?
Yeah.
What was the deal with him? Why was he there? Why was he there?
To hold the door.
Right. Why? Maybe Jamie was there to push Bran out the window. Maybe that was his reason. Like maybe he didn't. It's just meant to be that way. Like there's some bad things he's done, yes. But
yeah. No. I think that he definitely has a good side too. I mean, the show's clearly shown that. But I just don't know that when push comes to shove, whose side's he going to end up on the end?
Shove.
Yeah. What side's he going to end up on?
That's deep, Tony. That was deep,
Oh,
Tony.
did you?
Yes.
Just now?
Yes, I got it. I got you.
Anyway, sorry, I got sidetracked.
I could definitely see Jamie, especially because with what's his name, Tarley, Randall Tarley. I think the Bannermen would follow Jamie.
Right.
They will not follow Cersei. And with that being said, I could see Jamie being the usurper.
Right.
I at this point I could see him killing Cersei.
Right. That was my other question.
We joked about that today too.
Yeah. Or
Queen
does Cersei?
Slayer.
Yeah. Or does he take out Cersei and put a Targaryen back in place? Like he took out the Mad King. Like it's like poetic if he's the one who takes out Cersei.
Right. Plus, it's meant to be, ain't it? I mean, it's pretty much meant to be that.
I think that's really fitting if that happens. But
maybe that's the purpose of Bran. He's putting he's making stuff happen just so this happens. Like he's also kind of, not directly, I suppose, but we haven't seen much of him yet.
Right. I have a feeling that the whole war at Castle, or the war for the throne, might at the end of the season might be in place. Like whoever's gonna take over the throne might happen this season, and then the true villain will emerge at the end of this whole thing, and the next season will be like the White Walkers.
I like that.
And maybe Bran, even as like the head bad guy of the whole thing, might come into play.
They're moving things along at a really good pace.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Because of the pacing, I can see this season
definitely helps building the
like,
tension too for me. I know the other seasons were kind of had some long ones, but it almost had to be that way. But the way they've done this, I know there's less episodes, but I feel like it's a good thing.
We as fans have sat through all of the stuff that we deserve the pace to be like picked up. Like even HBO's like, let's get on with this thing.
Right. But they didn't. What I'm saying is they didn't do it in a way where it felt rushed.
No, it doesn't feel rushed.
Like the pacing is that way because it's panic stations.
Right. There are moments where it's like we'll get to the end of the episode, but like like, how did he know that they were there or that she was on the ship, like, to get her? You know what I mean? Like, but we'll get there. We'll get there. But there are certain pacing issues that I'm like, I'm glad they sped it up and it was an awesome scene, but I have questions.
Maybe that guy just predicted it because he's smart.
We've been talking about the same
Gosh,
kind
let's
of thing
keep
here
moving.
Yeah, sorry. Also, though, in that same scene, or scene right after Cersei gets taken down below with Oyburn, the creepy scientist dude, and
that's his name.
Meister.
yeah, and he gets
My goodness!
she shows off the giant crossbow.
Yeah,
to
The
take out the
bone
dragon.
thrower.
Yeah.
how did they move those big skulls down there?
Very carefully.
I'm sure that
Giants?
they had a bunch of dudes.
Bunch
they
of
had a
dudes?
mountain.
They had slaves.
They still have a mountain.
True.
Yeah, he's getting a little stinky.
Probably.
Man, eventually he's gonna.
now he's just a
that's why he's in
landfill.
armor in case his arm falls off. He can still keep going.
Give him Mike's Hard, he'll be all right.
Yeah.
Not sponsored, by the way.
All right. Let's jump on over to Jon Snow and receiving the letter from Tyrion about meeting with Daenerys.
The first letter.
Yeah. This is the first
I
letter?
forget which way
There
around
was
it
two.
was,
There
but
two
they were
letters?
There was
definitely.
two, because
he had them both.
He got one from Sam
He held 'em
talking
up.
about...
Oh yeah, he got one from Sam. And
But
he
he'd
got one
already
from,
got that, we can assume, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's at the meeting. He's talking about how he got the thing from Sam saying
About the dragon glass
Yeah.
under the dragon's rock.
dragon stone,
Dragon
glass
Rock.
under dragon stone.
rock, stone,
Same thing.
But
tomato, potato.
yeah. So he got the note from them saying, this is where it's at, and then he got an invite basically right to where it is.
Right.
But
How
it's pretty much
convenient.
universal that the North does not want him to go because every time a Stark has rode south, they've died. And the good thing about him, though, is that he's not a Stark. He's a Snow. So maybe
He
he'll
might
make
not
it.
even be that.
He's a Stark.
He's not a Stark, is he?
He's a Stark. He's just not Ned Stark.
In his mind, he's a Stark.
Right, but
Oh, I see what
actually,
you're saying.
He's Ned's sister's kid. He still
doesn't have
still,
that name,
he got
though.
Stark blood in
He's
him.
still a bastard. Sorry, bastard.
But yeah, so they don't want him to go, but he decides to go anyway. What do you guys? How do you? Anybody want to jump in here?
He has to.
He has to go. I mean, in order for the plot to move forward, he has to go.
Of course he does. Of course he does. I was more worried about the place being left. I know it's defended, but it's a bit like Castle Rock. There's not really anyone cool there to defend it.
Sansa.
What's she gonna do?
She still has an army there.
Yeah, I suppose.
She has an army. She's learned a lot of stuff, but she's also got.
But he's the
Littlefinger.
leader. Everyone falls apart without Jon Snow.
She's also got Littlefinger there.
She's also got her
whispering in
own plans.
ear.
Exactly. She's got her own thing going on.
She's got her own thing that she wants to do.
Things
so,
are going to change over there. I don't know.
Yeah, things are going to change over there. But Arya's also on her way there, so maybe Arya
That's
can
cool.
talk some sense
Some
into
sisterly
Sansa
love.
if Sansa's.
Yeah.
Who knows what direction Sansa's
Bring
really
her
going
back
to try
down
and
to
go.
earth a bit because she's seen some stuff now.
Yeah, they've both seen some stuff, and
I might get the
can learn from each
goosebumps when
other.
that happens, Tony.
Yeah,
Don't look at me when that happens. If
it'll
we're in
probably
the
be next
same room.
episode.
I might be sobbing.
Things are moving so quick.
Whew.
And we also get the scene with Jon and Littlefinger. In the
You don't belong down here.
checking out Ned's grave.
Yeah.
Yeah, and slamming him up against the wall.
Yeah, I wanted him to poke his eyes out.
I liked how that scene played out. Just because I don't like Littlefinger, but it's like he's a guy that I like to not like.
But he
like,
did
I love
it.
his character, but
He knew Jon Snow was going to do it. That's why he was down there.
Yeah, he was just down there pushing his limits. Yeah, he was down there pushing his limits.
It's like he gets
telling
off
him
on
that he
that.
loved his.
Oh, he's
That
such
he
a...
loved his sister and then he loved his mother. And
He's
or
he right
cool
now
mother,
is the
mother.
only character in that show I think I hate.
Yeah,
And I'm cool with Cersei, really. He's horrible. He's not as bad as Ramsay.
yeah. He's
But
just horrible in a
he's
different
on the-
way. He's
he's a
manipulator.
manipulator.
Him and Valeris, right? What's his name?
Varys.
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 Yeah, him and Varys are the same. They both have the same motivations. They're both like Varys does it for the people though.
Yeah, but he's not as cunning and as nasty as Littlefinger is.
Right. Littlefinger has a little bit more personal gain.
He's more like Littlefinger's like Jafar from Aladdin. You know, he does the job, but he's got his own plan. You know what I mean? Look into my staff.
And some parrot.
The parrot. Who could the parrot be? See, we're wondering again.
You're wondering.
Get that way.
Yeah.
Sansa's the parrot, by the way.
So do you guys think that Sansa's going to be misguided by Littlefinger? Do you think that he's going to be able to manipulate her?
No.
Or do you think that she's got him pretty much under her thumb
No, she's
now at
pegged
this point?
him. She's pegged him. She's playing along because he's handy to keep around. So she's doing her own version. She's manipulating him too. Kind of.
Because he has his own people in his own army.
The last one, she said something like, I don't know what he wants. You know? She's just using what she's got to her advantage to keep him around because he's handy.
And she's got a lot, too.
She does. She does.
Well, yeah, and I think how it'll play out is he'll start to get back into her mind.
He
again.
thinks he's playing her when I really believe she is playing him, and she's got something going on too. But I don't know.
I think she'll put up a good defense, and then he will constantly wear at her, and then right at that moment where she's about to break, that's when Arya.
Although
will
you
show
know
up.
it is possible with what Jon Snow said to him. You touch my sister, I'll kill you.
Right.
Well, maybe a little foreshadowing, but maybe Jon was also sensing something. You know, maybe Littlefinger was.
He's creeping.
It's bad.
He's creeping.
It's bad.
I think that. I think that if he goes out, I don't know. If he goes out, I'd be cool with pretty much almost anybody killing him. But I don't know that Sansa really needs to kill him, unless he does something
I have
real
to think on
real
that.
bad.
I have to think on that.
Like,
No,
everybody kind of gets a little bit,
No,
they get-
I think he's
Not really done anything horribly bad, has he? Except for pushing that woman out the moon hole thing.
Oh, in the veil. Well,
But she had it coming,
he
right?
was the one that sold out Ned.
Yeah, he's the one that sold out Ned. He's also
Oh shoot!
him and
Does Sansa know that?
he's also
She knows. She
I don't
doesn't.
think anybody else does.
him and
Oh,
Tyrell.
buddy. There
Him
it
and the
is.
Tyrell, plotted against Joffrey, but I mean,
It's all gonna come out at
but
some
that
point.
everybody needed that to happen. So
That's true. He's
Well, that
the
kid was on his way
see,
out.
he's
Right.
the ultimate enemy. He
No,
could be the
he's-
one.
He's more valuable alive.
I don't think he's the ultimate enemy. I used to think that in the earlier seasons, but I think that
He's more of a Kylo Ren.
no, I don't think he's redeemable. I just think that he's lost his power. Like things
I
are
don't
in
know.
place now that he can't really control as much as he'd like
Yeah,
to.
he doesn't have the power he used to have.
Right.
He's too busy. He's
He
lost
still
it.
has the veil.
Yeah,
I mean,
but before that, he was right in the thick of it and able to manipulate everything. When he got to the veil, he was like trying to figure out how he was going to
But
manipulate.
I
it to
mean,
get
right
everything
now
back.
he is kind of in charge of, not in charge, but he is right there with probably the most powerful people in the place. You know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, he's got
He's
influence,
leached his way on.
and
to
now
them.
that John's out of the way, he can start really
Now he can
forcing his influence. but I
puppeteer
don't-
again.
Yeah, like now that John's leaving, his brain's already going. Like he's already thinking about how he can use that
That's
situation.
what I
to his
mean. Down
advantage.
there
I
was
think-
basically that.
yeah,
he was
and I
basically.
think-
You know.
I think the one reason why people love to hate him is because his motive isn't clear.
Right.
Nobody really knows.
Yeah, that's exactly
what
it.
he's actually.
Right. He could be Snape by the
Right.
end of this thing. Like
That's
Harry Potter.
exactly right.
That's honestly
He
what I
could-
think.
He could be Ned with a different face. How about that?
That's very
Oh,
possible.
that would
too.
be amazing. That would get me going. That would.
Trying to bang
Look,
his
he's
daughter.
Ned the whole time. He turned himself in. It's Ned.
Yeah.
Face.
He's trying to sleep with his own daughter.
Spoiling thrones right there.
Face off.
But you never know with this show. That's the thing. They can go any way now with any of it. I seem more excited than the both of you about this.
Anyway, can it go anyway?
Any way you want.
Anyway.
Any which way but loose.
All right, so John's on his way, and if you've seen the sneak peek for next week, it looks like he's going to actually meet Daenerys next week.
Yeah.
Do you think that they will find out their relation
no.
before or after they sleep together?
Oh, shoot. Well,
during.
he is. They are both single.
Right.
After is my. That would be
It'll
the
probably
coolest.
be after, if it does happen, I imagine. My
No.
question is, though, who do you think knows their lineage other than Bran?
Listen, Bran is gaining
Varys.
on him.
You think Varys does?
Yeah.
But who's with Bran right now? Who's up there in the Night's Watch?
He's at the wall.
Right,
Yeah.
but who is there that would know, that can send a raven?
Just
I mean,
He's about
he's got some
what I'm
friends there
saying is he's
still.
about to tell someone.
Well, maybe not.
Words
he's
about-
probably going to move from there onward to
But if there's nobody
Winterfell.
important there at the wall, yeah, he won't.
Yeah.
But
Do you think it'll be Varys, or do you think it'll be like Melisandre might know?
you think one of them knows?
I think Melisandre might know.
I think she already knows.
Yeah, I think that she might know just because of her whole deal with the Lord of Light and resurrecting Jon and all that stuff. I think
that she's just old.
yeah, she's just old. She just knows because she was there when it happened.
I haven't thought about this.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Because how are they going to find out that they're related? Like, he's got to eventually find out he's Targaryen.
Well, Bran knows, so it's coming out.
Right. If they ever cross paths again. I mean, the way the show works, they might
Eventually,
not,
they have to. Like, this place seemed like it used to be this big, and now this season it seems like it's this big. So,
Yeah, I imagine
eventually,
that
that's why I'm
they will.
asking you, who is at the wall that Bran's going to see? Is there anyone important there?
Well, his one friend is still there, or his two buddies on the Night Watch.
Just the guy with the tash.
Yeah, he's still there.
And the wild
I don't think the wildlings are there. They're at the wall, or they're at Winterfell. Some of the wildlings might be there, but
They left the last episode.
here's the thing: if they do send something out, Jon ain't even there anyway. He's gone, so nobody knows he's gone at the wall.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Arya's
it's all
on her way
lost
there,
in the mix
but,
again.
Yeah, like Arya's gonna just miss him. You think they're going on the same path? Like
You think they just like
heading south? I mean, how
turn
many
their
roads are there?
location on? I just turn the location on. Gotta find my friend app.
Speaking of Arya, she has a hot pie with hot pie.
God, that pie looked actually big. It looked really good.
Hold on. I actually want to jump. I want to jump to.
Oh, we're jumping?
I want to jump over to Samwell and Jorah. And Sam doing pretty much the most basic of medicine ever.
Is that really the way to cure it?
Remove the affected area, put on ointment.
I thought they had to use dragon glass. Like, what is going on? You don't just carve that off. I have a birthmark that's about like that, and I wouldn't dream of ever doing that.
I'm just saying, like that's what the hidden remedy, like
just cut them off.
Just cut it off. And
But
put it on
what doesn't
ointment.
make sense to me then is how was that girl cured? Because she had them on her face,
Right.
but she was cured. Scars?
Yeah.
That could be. That makes sense.
It was just scars.
Just scars of what was left behind.
Mm-hmm.
So they just cut it off
I
before
thought
it got
hers
too
was just
advanced.
more. I didn't know that hers was actually the grayscale.
She was the only one. Yeah, she had grayscale and she was cured.
Yeah,
That was what he knew that because remember
the Meister had said that they had caught it early enough, so they were able to quell it.
Right.
Since
So
his was so far gone,
being a scar makes sense if it was
Yeah.
a scar. Yeah,
It's like a turtle shell.
it's like a giant belly button.
But yeah, so he's it's just like a really gross.
The
scene.
squealing sounds he was making were exactly the sounds that I was expecting to hear.
But my
he
favorite-
kept quiet, but man, he was so sad about
My
it.
favorite part is the transition though, the hard cut from that
into
to
the
the
pie.
spoonful of pie.
The guy put it in his mouth.
Yes.
They did it twice. They did it at the beginning when it might have been during the SEX scene, and she reached up and grabbed something, and it turned into a book being pulled off the shelf. Right at the beginning, there was another kind of cool edit like that.
Right.
But not as cool as the pie one.
The hard cut
But
to the
still
pie
not as
was-
cool as the poo soup one.
The poo soup one was pretty good.
Poo soup.
But
But I like the way they're putting this together.
But that hard cut into the pie takes us back to
That's
Arya.
good.
which by the way, that pot pie looked really good.
It did look good. A bit crusty, but
Yeah.
it looked good.
Yeah, well, you gotta,
As you would imagine a pie to look back in the day.
you gotta brown the
Well, yeah,
butter
it was-
before you make it.
Yeah, because it was meant to be portable.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the secret.
Because she said, I didn't do that, which was
Right.
a joke about her meat pie.
Making, boy pies.
Yes. But she has a, she has a scene there with Hot Pie, and he tells her that Jon's still alive and has taken Winterfell back. So that puts her on a literal crossroad.
On a side note, the guy that's doing the pie thing should stop eating so many of those pies because he looks like he's put a little
I
bit
didn't
on.
write it down, but he does say, "You and I are survivors," and I was just like,
Right.
he's dead.
Exactly. Well, you're dead,
Not much
dude.
longer. Not today.
Shouldn't have said it.
Maybe it's because you eat so much pie. Like, he's definitely keeping warm, that fella.
Well, he lives where it's the coldest.
Right.
I mean,
but he's got the best food. North. That's the best food I've ever seen, like, out and about at a pub.
Well, he makes the pies.
He's good. He's good at it.
He's good at it. They're doing well. Their place was packed.
He should start a pie business.
He did.
That's the I know he is. See, we're sidetracked again.
I think that's a little bit on the nose, Dan.
Yeah?
But it's cut and dry. Cut and pie.
Cut and pie. But puts her right on a crossroad looking north and south. Where is she going to go? And she heads north.
Well, she knows she got the news about a brother.
Right.
From the pie dude.
Yeah, she got a new... he told her John had taken Winterfell.
Right.
And so she heads north and is surrounded by wolves. And this scene, I felt like played out in the episode just a little weird.
It did play out weird.
But...
I agree. We didn't talk about this.
I have some thoughts on it that I'd like to talk about.
I hope so, because this would be a rather boring show.
I'm intrigued.
Here are some pictures.
Basically, she's surrounded by the wolves, and one of the wolves is her dire wolf, Nymeria. And she reaches out to the wolf and says that she's going home and wants her to come with her. And all the wolves leave. For a split second, just the smallest little split second, I thought, what if the wolves eat her? Like, this show does weird things sometimes.
I did too. I told myself, like, it'd be badass if that thing ate her face off.
but she has more of a character arc that needs to be played out. But I had a split second thought of, like, what if they eat her?
But what did she say, though?
When the wolf leaves, she says, that's not you. And when she says that, I think she's talking to herself. She's saying that she's not that anymore. I think that the wolf mirrors her in the fact that they both left home at a young age and have been stuck in the wild just surviving. And she's been stuck on this path of vengeance. And I think by her saying, that's not you, that's her saying, that's not me anymore. I'm going home.
Right. Yep. It was a look in the mirror.
Yeah. But it was just the way the scene was put together.
It was good.
I felt like it was a little off-putting in the way that it was put together, but I don't know. That's what I got from the scene. I think it was just a metaphor for if she keeps going on this path of revenge, she's going to end up like this dire wolf.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know. Like I brought to your attention. Is if you notice the color of the horse, that it's a pale horse, and death will ride upon a pale horse, and hell will follow with him.
Yeah, well, she is very much like this bringer of death.
She is the bringer. She's got a list and she's checking them off.
You know,
she's
like we said last week, like
she's a harbinger.
She's she basically learned the skills from the god of death, like from the no-faced god. So I mean it's very accurate that she would ride a pale horse, but I think that she wants to change. I think that she's heading home because that's what she feels like she wants, but I don't know if she's really going to arrive there, and I know that even if she does, she's going to go back on this path of vengeance.
But if she had this epiphany that she's not that person anymore, why is she still going home? Maybe she's not.
I think she's going home. I just don't think that I think that in her mind, she's ready to go home.
She's just confirming that she's going home as a different person.
To let her.
Oh, I see.
I think that even if she gets there, I think things are going to happen that's going to send her back out again. Like, she's not just going to go there and be part of this war. I think that she has her own vendetta is going to creep up on her. Is Littlefinger on her list?
I bet. If she's ever met him, he is.
I don't think so.
I don't think he is, but
he will be.
Yeah.
Is there
she can put more names on it.
That's on her list?
No.
Oh man, I don't believe so.
I don't know how many people are left on her list.
No.
But I don't think there
Cersei.
is either. Yeah.
That's the thing. It's so far back. It's hard to remember what people who knows who.
Maybe she'll run into the Hound on her way there.
I would like that.
They're in somewhere where
they're
it's pretty
all
cold.
out and
I'm
about.
not sure exactly where they're at, but
that would be good.
They would have to be near the wall.
Right.
Yeah.
So
he's still on.
So
the
what
list.
if she runs into the Hound, and that's that might derail her from going home?
She has to kill him.
He is still on her list, but
she marked him off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's.
It doesn't matter.
But
she
again,
killed him.
he's also not the same person he
Right.
was either. So if she's realizing that,
Yeah.
maybe
All right. from that, we're at the finale here. I mean, at the end of the episode, with Euron Greyjoy's surprise attack on Theon, Yara, and Ilaria, and the Sand Snakes.
Let me say this, like the actual siege bridge that got on that boat was so badass.
That smashed that dude?
Oh, yeah.
That's my first line on the notes is Euron's grand entrance smashing one of the sailors.
Yeah. The whole design of the ships and just that siege bridge and everything else, how it was like the head of it was a skull.
Dude, it was awesome.
Oh my god, it was so
amazing.
Amazing.
That whole battle was awesome. Like the scene that led right into it of what's her name? Ilaria Sand, like about to get it on with Yara.
And then who's gonna kill who and all that. Like I'm gonna take out this one, I'm gonna take out this one, and then
yeah, and then just boom, just that whole scene worked out. Like I don't know, I loved all of it, the design and just the way the way it was directed through. I really enjoyed that sequence.
So what do you think Theon's up to?
But
he's just hanging out.
But at the end of that,
I don't think he really knows. I don't know.
Yeah, at the end of that scene, you know, they've captured Ilaria. They've killed 2 of her children. Killed 2 of the Sand Snakes. So they've got her and one of her daughters left. They're taking them prisoner, and now they're taking Yara prisoner because we got a character we haven't seen in a while. Reek reemerges.
Mm-hmm. Kind of flashed out a little bit, didn't he?
He did.
He's a broken man.
He's a very broken man, but you know the way the show was going, you know, you started to feel like
he was back to normal.
Yeah, not back to normal, but at least.
But maybe focused. This was a theme throughout the show. He
became Theon again.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. People have these different identities.
But yeah, Reek reemerged and he just jumped off. But at the same time, what was he gonna do?
Right.
He couldn't have really done anything. That might have been his best option, but he did it out. He didn't do it because that was the best option. He did it because
he was scared.
He was scared.
And it was a reflex more than anything. It seemed like to me.
Yeah, he's a coward.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to.
But then when he was just floating around in the water out there, he was like, well.
Yeah, but again, he's the only one that knows now.
Right, and he got away. So that is true. He's a runner. He just, he'll run and find someone. So he's got information.
Yeah, he's got information, but when he shows back up...
But he's still on the good side, When
he shows back up to Daenerys and tells her what happened...
He's done.
Yeah, I think he's going to die. I think they'll kill him. If he actually tells them that he just abandoned ship, I think he'll die. Unless he lies and says he was thrown overboard or something.
He's the Raven.
I think that
it's the only way to get the message back.
Right. Yeah.
She's still alive, so they have to go get her. They have to send help. It's 50-50. She doesn't like people being a traitor.
Right.
And didn't she punish someone once for that? I feel like she did. Maybe it was.
Sounds familiar.
Maybe it was gosh, I can never remember his name. The guy with the grayscale.
Jorah.
Jorah did something to her, didn't he?
Right.
He kind of betrayed her, but not in a bad way. It was just how it was. In his mind, it wasn't terrible, but...
Right.
Yeah, because he knew about the assassins.
Right. Something.
Yeah, but he didn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Because he loved her.
Yeah.
Who knows what they're going to do.
Right.
If that's even who gets him. Maybe someone will pick him up.
Something I was mentioning earlier, but... My only issue with that whole scene is how did Euron know that she was on that ship?
Maybe they got a mole. They took half the army.
Yeah, because they really didn't have a flagship per se.
Right.
Maybe maybe one of her army was still his army.
Yeah, it's very possible. She has a lot of people, like, they have all the,
They're the same family.
They're the same family. Somebody could have double-crossed them.
Yeah.
I hope that they maybe at least have just a throwaway line that
maybe it was Theon.
That
maybe Theon double-crossed him, and that's why he was like, oh, crap.
Jump
off the boat.
I doubt it was Theon.
He can be manipulated quite easily. Well, he used to be able to.
Again, I don't think he would outright...
You don't think he's a puppet anymore? You think he's... Well, she's the only one that really kind of tried to help him. You're right.
So, Jonathan, what do you think of the episode? I'll get that in like a minute.
We got a minute delay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my only issue is that with the pacing being as fast as it is now. there are certain things where I'm just like, well, that was awfully quick. Like, he's like, oh, I'm going to go get you a prize. And then, boom, next episode, now it's there. And now we know what the prize was.
Yeah, whereas before it would drag out 3 or 4 episodes.
Or next season, you finally find out.
There's still a guy rowing a boat out there somewhere.
Jon Snow says, I'm going to go meet Daenerys. Like, in the earlier seasons, would have been like, well, we'll see you there next season, or you might die on the way. Now it's like next episode, boom, he's there.
She's done for this season.
How much time did it actually take him to get there versus what we're seeing on screen? I question timing now, but I'm really happy that it's going this way, so I'm not really questioning it too much.
I think we're just supposed to forget about the travel time.
Yes, you just forget about the travel time.
Move on.
They're just fast traveling now.
Right.
They've been to all the locations.
It's like a video game.
They can fast travel now.
Yeah, they've already dove off the tower.
Yeah,
but they are playing hardcore mode, so they have to eat.
This is the final boss.
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
No, I think there's going to be another boss.
This is the prelude to the final boss.
Yes.
Who's going to be really scary.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it for this week. I think we touched on everything. What did you guys think of the episode compared to last week? What do you think is going to happen next week? Let us know.
It's better than last week.
Yeah, definitely better than last week.
But last week was just an introduction back in.
Last week was an introduction back in. If they're only doing 7 episodes, so they gotta put more. They said they were doing it for budget purposes to put more money into it, and this episode clearly showed a lot more money thrown into it. You could really see where it was going. So I think it works out this way.
And that crossbow, I can't wait to see that being used. See, I backtracked that time. Oh, you got a question?
It's more of a comment from Jonathan over on They Said We Said dude. Finally, the bad guys do look like they have an equal playing field. I was worried that the good guys were too stacked.
That's just definitely what it looks like.
He said food guys, but you meant good guys.
Basically, if they've got 3 giant arrows and a good guy running it, they can take down the dragons pretty easy.
Right. Well, they've got Euron and his ships. I mean, and Euron is... Yeah. Can we just say that this dude is like... He's just like a really awesome pirate. Like he just like
he's a pirate.
He's
That's
a pirate.
Exactly what he is.
Great.
He don't piss around. I mean, and you can't.
Right.
Well, he wants to marry the queen. He's got to let's go, get it moving.
Yeah.
He's starting to be one of your favorites, ain't he?
I like good bad guys, and he's a good bad guy. I like characters with a lot of charisma, and he definitely has a lot of charisma.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, we're gonna call it there. If you'd like to follow us here, so you can subscribe, or you can follow us on Facebook at Rad Entertain and Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff. You can follow myself at Tony Walters _. Check out
hmmfilms.com.
And you can see him here next week.
And I do have something to plug.
Ooh.
Woo!
Yes. It'll be this shirt called The Deuterus from the artist Jess Beck 9074. You can find this on redbubble.com. Not sponsored.
No, but go buy one because they're awesome.
Go buy one because the proceeds do go to the artists, and she actually has a lot more on the site. So it's JESSBECK 9074. Check it out.
I'll put a link in the description.
There you go.
She has a lot more artwork to check out. So, that and buy from Redbubble. Not sponsored.
I'll put a link down there if you want to pick up one of those shirts. So yeah, thanks for joining us this week, and we'll catch you guys next week right here on Spoiling Thrones. There we go. Just keep talking.
I don't want to.
Keep talking.
This is a joke.
You're a joke.